This is the first of 3 videos made in relation to the appeal against the decision of Wandsworth Council to refuse the planning application case 2021-5234. Should you wish to watch or read something in more detail on your screen, please pause the playing of this video. The planning application was about public access to certain areas at Battersea Reach, and the application was registered on 30th of November 2021. Wandsworth Council's Planning Application Committee rejected the planning application at a committee meeting on 28 June 2022. An appeal was lodged on 14 June 2023. The rejection was probably based on the report produced by Wandsworth Council's planning officer and the case officer. Before the Planning Application Committee's meeting, 336 support statements were submitted to Wandsworth Council about the planning application, which is quite a lot for any property planning applications. Battersea Reach is a very large residential development on the south side of River Thames. The appellants and applicants of the planning application case 2021/5234 was made by St George South London Limited and Battersea Reach Residents Association. I don't think in St Mary's Ward there's another residential development of more than 1,300 flats. You can see River Thames is to the north of the residential development and Bridge End Road is to its west. A lot of commuters use the Riverwalk next to Battersea Reach on a daily basis, but some of them seem to think the green open space of the residential development is a convenient spot for them to carry out some private activities. Have a look.
Three, two, one.
When assessing the planning application, the planning officer, the case officer and most of the committee councillors probably were not aware of some antisocial behaviour and low-level crimes regularly faced by Battersea Reach residents.
Let's see what the rejected planning application 2021/5234 was about. OK. 2 main points in that planning application about public access.
Firstly, making Ensign Garden and Genoa Garden private.
The green arrow in the site map of Battersea Reach is pointing at Ensign Garden, outlined in red. The yellow arrow is pointing at Genoa Garden, outlined in blue. Here is another image showing where Ensign Garden and Genoa Garden are at Battersea Reach.
Secondly, extending the curfew hours of access to 2 courtyards.
Where are these 2 courtyards? The area outlined in red is the east courtyard. And the area outlined in green is the west courtyard. There is a Battersea Reach block called Genoa House and it lies to the east of the east courtyard. These few images show the various parts of Genoa Garden, next to Genoa House. The building of access self-storage is immediately east of Battersea Reach. There is an open-air play area of a nursery between access self-storage and Battersea Reach. And Ensign Garden is just next to that open-air play area. You can now see the location of BBO Dance Ballet School in relation to access self-storage. We should look at the neighborhood of Battersea Reach in order to understand another important point contained in the rejected planning application 2021/5234. Along the river to the east of Battersea Reach, there is a residential development called Riverside Plaza. One building of Riverside Plaza is right next to Ensign Garden. See the green arrow. There is a wide path between the main parts of Riverside Plaza for pedestrians and vehicles, which leads to the River Walk. You can see now on the screen a building outlined in a dashed line. It is a newly constructed building for co-living, very different from cohabiting. It used to be called The Collective, but its new name is Florence Dock. And it lies to the south of Riverside Plaza. On your screen now you can see Ensign House of Battersea Reach in the background. This photo was taken from a balcony of Ensign House, looking east. However, let's look at some old photos taken before the construction of the co-living building, to continue with checking out the neighborhood of Battersea Reach. To the east of Riverside Plaza, there is Plantation Wharf, which provides a mix of commercial and residential accommodation. Plantation Wharf buildings are finished in dark brown bricks. There are many access points from the main roads through Plantation Wharf to the River Walk. This is a photo taken from another building looking west towards Plantation Wharf and Battersea Reach. Here is a site map of Plantation Wharf, and we shall come back to this map from time to time later in this video. Some photos of Plantation Wharf you saw earlier were taken from Plantation Wharf Pier. As mentioned, there are many access points through Plantation Wharf which may be convenient for some criminals. Plantation Wharf owns Cotton Row, which lies to the east. Looking south, Plantation Wharf is on the right in this photo. I reported to the police what I once saw in Cotton Row. BBC's website for checking local moped crimes is out of date, but it can still provide some guidance about hotspots of such crimes. And some Battersea areas with good escape routes seem to get a fair share of moped-enabled crimes. This point about crimes committed in Battersea areas with good access routes to River Walk was mentioned in the rejected planning application 2021/5245. Now we come to the third main point in that rejected planning application.
The removal of access point 9.
Where is it in relation to Battersea Reach? Again, using this site layout image of Battersea Reach, the white cross shows where access point 9 is. Remember this photo showing the co-living building. Access point 9 is also marked with a white cross. Does it remind you of the narrow bendy path used by the moped criminals shown in the short footage earlier? Let's switch from Battersea Reach to another building close to Plantation Wharf shown by the yellow arrow here. It is called Coda Residence. It consists of a tall zigzag tower and other lower blocks. Of course, Coda Residence is also near Battersea Reach. Unsurprisingly, there are some people doing surprising things in Battersea.
There's room enough for two up on the roof.
Let's have a bird's eye view of the mentioned buildings. Returning to Plantation Wharf. Back on the ground. Do you sometimes feel that some people should be grounded?